In this video I will try to explain what layer masks are and why you should use them. So imagine I have a situation where I have two images. One is the face of a girl and the other is a picture of the sea, and I want to cut out this face and place it on the background of the sea. So at this moment the sea is invisible because there are colored pixels on this top layer which are hiding the pixels on the lower layer. So I want to remove those pixels so that the sea becomes visible, and I can do this in two ways, and that's what I want to show you. So let me create a copy of this layer and show you the two methods on these two different layers. So now I want to remove the pixels here of this background and also this hand so that the sea becomes visible. So what I can do is I can take the eraser tool and start just erasing the pixels on this layer. And wherever I erase the pixels on the top layer, the bottom layer becomes visible. Alternatively, what I can do is I can use the selection tool and I can select the parts of the image that I want to erase. Let me do this by using different selection tools, right? Okay, and then just press delete and the pixels will be deleted. Okay, and so I got what I want. I got this girl's face, and on the background there is the sea. So now let me hide this layer and show this one and show you the second method on this other layer. So what I will do, I will go to layer, I will go to layer mask and say reveal all, and here you see this white square. This is the mask. Alternatively, let me undo this. I can just click on the mask icon here and the same will happen. I will have now a mask. And so this is a layer with a mask, and you can activate the layer, the image itself, or you can activate the mask. Okay, so let me activate the mask and then do exactly the same what I did before. Start erasing, and wherever I erase, the bottom layer becomes visible. Okay, also please notice that this part of the mask has become black. All right, so let me do then the same that I did before. So let me select all these parts that I want to erase. All right. And click delete, and the pixels will disappear. Let me deselect. Okay, and also please notice that the part that I have deleted has become black on my mask. Now visually, the result of what I did is the same, but in fact the result is very different. Because if you look at these two layers, so here the pixels on both layers, the pixels I wanted to remove, have become invisible. But in this case, in the case of this layer, I just deleted the pixels, and in this case I didn't delete them, I just hid them. So these pixels here on this layer are not deleted, they are hidden. Okay, So if I right click on the layer mask and say disable layer mask, you will see all those pixels again. If I click enable layer mask, then these pixels will disappear. So when creating a layer mask, I didn't destroy any information, but I added information. So I had some information of what color these pixels are, and I added information about which pixels are visible and which are invisible. Those that are white on the layer mask are visible, and those that are black on the layer mask are invisible. Now imagine I save this file and I close it and forget it and open it again after 1 month has passed or a year has passed. And okay, let me enable this layer mask again. And I decide it would be nice to have this other hand visible as well. Now, if I only have this layer, there is nothing I can do. If I only have this layer where I deleted the pixels, because I destroyed the information that was here, it is no longer available. It's not there in the file. However, if I, instead of deleting, created a mask, then disable the layer mask, all this information is still there and I can restore it. So how can I restore it? I just activate this layer mask and make this part white so that this part of the pixels on this image become visible. So I just take a brush and start painting with white color on my mask, and wherever I paint, the pixels become visible again. Okay? Or what I can do, I can just select the part that I want visible, like this. Okay, let me do it just roughly. I'll do it quick. Okay, and then activate the layer mask again and just paint white, or just use the paint bucket to fill this with white, and so it will become visible. Now I didn't do it very accurately, but I can always correct it. That is another advantage of layer masks, is that I can correct them anytime. So imagine I have left some parts which in fact I want to hide. All I have to do is I have to go to the layer mask and make this area black. So let me do this time by taking a brush, taking the black color and just painting it black. You see, so I can edit my mask anytime and just tell Photoshop which pixels to show and which to hide. All right? So, when you want to remove some pixels that you don't want to see, never use the destructive method. Always use the non-destructive method for doing this. And finally, there's one last thing I want to tell you about creating layer masks. So let me delete this layer mask by dragging it down into the recycle bin and say delete. You can create layer masks from selections. So before you create a layer mask, you just create a selection. All right, like this. Okay, and so now I've selected what I want to hide. then I say select inverse. So now I have selected what I want to remain visible, and once I've done this selection, then I create a layer mask, and this mask will be created so that what was selected is visible and what was not selected is invisible. And then I can always correct this mask afterwards, so for removing all sorts of bad details here. But all these methods of working with layer masks are described in other tutorials. So basically what I want you to remember is never use the destructive method, always use the non-destructive method, so that all the information that you had remains in your file. Never destroy any information in Photoshop files. That is very important.